So, just a quick little refresher over observations versus inferences. An observation is what you can directly observe or witness. So, if we are looking at a scene from a movie or if we are reading a text, what we know is going on factually. So, if it's a scene, what do we see? What's in the scene? What's going on? If it's in the text, what has the author told us? So even if the main character doesn't know what's going on, but we do, that is still an observation. An inference is making an educated guess based off the observation. And that's the lane we want to stay in for this whole lesson today. So making an educated guess based off the observation. We're not getting too crazy with it. We're not doing anything too wild. What do you see? And based off what you see, what can you guess next? So a couple little practice times, all right? Here's The Emperor's New Groove. We will absolutely watch this by the end of the year. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. We have the Emperor who's been turned into a llama on the right, and we have Pacha on the left. And you can tell they're in some sort of cliff situation, keeping each other out of water or whatever they would fall into by pushing on each other's backs, right? Creating that pressure so they stay alive. Observation, you've got two individuals, they've hooked arms, Pacha's wearing a green cape, we've got brown shorts, and we are facing two rock faces. An inference could be that they are going to walk up the rocks and onto safety, that they would slip, fall, and careen down to the river or whatever's below them. An inference would not be that aliens are going to come save them because there is nothing about aliens in this scene. So though that is a guess, it is not a guess about what's going on now. An inference would also not be, I think they're going to win an eating contest because they're not eating anything, there's no food, there's nothing going on. So instead of getting some wild and crazy guesses, we want to stay in our lane and have our guesses be about what we've already seen. If we look at this scene from Brave, all right, we've got a whole family eating dinner. We've got three little triplets. We've got the older sister. We've got mom and dad. We've got our little donut things. Any kind of observation would be that. Once we take that to an inference, right, we can infer that they have already eaten something. I see some crumbs on the table, that they're saving dessert for last. We can infer that they're having dinner together. They all look alike, so we can infer that they are a family. We cannot infer that the whole family is about to go off to war and save the kingdom. That really isn't in the photo that we're looking at, right? Even though it's not as wild and crazy as aliens, even though this is from medieval times where people went to war, that's not an inference because it's not based off what we've been told. And then lastly, we have Lilo and Stitch. So we've got a little alien and we've got our cute little Hawaiian girl. And they are motioning in the same motion. The cute little alien, Stitch, is wearing a hula grass skirt. We can infer that they are doing the hula dance. We can infer that the alien is learning how to hula dance. We cannot infer that the spaceship he came in on is about to blow up and he's not going to be able to get off Earth. That has nothing to do with the scene. So, observations are facts, things we see, things we hear in the story, what we know. And inferences are educated guesses where we stay in our lane and we only make those guesses based off what we observe.